legends of Aussie film. Within his bright career, he's the gift that keeps on giving. Starring in films such as The Great Gatsby, Star Wars, and The Five I've already incorporated into this intro. Now we're loving his newest film, 13 Lives.
Last seen 9 days ago, 12 boys and their coach are trapped in the flooded cave.
We wish you were here. Okay, I'll stop now. It's Joel Edgerton.
What an absolute pleasure. Joel Edgerton, welcome to the show.
How are you?
So
Yeah,
damn
very
good. A whole afternoon's work went into that intro.
Yeah, it was full of dad jokes. Thank you.
Sure. You're not wrong there.
I reckon watching your face, I was like, will we crack him? I reckon we got a smirk.
Joel, incredible film, 13 Lives. Now, we all know the story. Obviously, it was very publicised in the news at the time. Can you tell us about the character you play, though, Dr. Richard Harry Harris, and the role he played in the rescue?
Well, you know, in that early news sort of cycle when the actual event took place and the boys got lost and then, you know, days later found and then rescued, all I remember is that they were in there, they found them and then they got them out. The question of how they got them out was something I wasn't aware of until I really got involved in the film and my jaw hit the floor, you know, knowing what Dr. Harris had done, you know, the sedation of the boys in order to get them out. I had no idea that was how the mechanics of the rescue worked.
It's such an incredible story. And this is one of those rare scenarios for us where we've also interviewed the man, like, in real life. We've interviewed Harry himself. He's from our hometown of Adelaide.
To replay your interview with him, it's going to be far more fascinating than anything I could say. I mean, on that note, it's a real honour to be able to play him, you know, I mean, and particularly because that decision that he made, you know, he was aware that even in trying to save the boys, that he may actually result in the death of some or all of the boys, but that it was a precious situation where if they didn't give something a shot, the boys would have all perished anyway.
He's a great example of you can't judge a book by their cover because he's such an unassuming character when you see him in real life. I don't know if you've spoken to him about this, but he was blown away that a hunk like you was cast to play him.
We've been in contact with each other since, and I showed him a photo at some point of me in a wetsuit, which I don't normally text other men.
Can you also text us that photo?
And Harry wrote back to me, and you've met him, you know, he's got a great sense of humour. He wrote back and said, "Geez, we're a good-looking bloke."
That is awesome. Joel Edgerton joining you this morning on Nova 919. He's the star of the new film 13 Lives, which is all about the Thai cave rescue.
Creating the film, did you learn anything about the story that you didn't already know from just watching the news?
The details of the community effort, you know, you talk about the heroes being in the cave, but these sort of community willing to flood their fields in order to be part of the water diversion effort, thousands of people, and Rick and John and Harry couldn't have done it alone.
Elon Musk kind of didn't help the situation, but everyone else helped.
We never shot anything about that, and it's not in the film. That was sort of a weird diversion.
No need to get into it, but the one fact...
I don't want to start a fight with Elon Musk.
He's a very powerful man. I get it. Yeah, let's not start a war.
I don't have the words or the wisdom or the money.
Look, we'll leave you with the one that we know. This has been an incredible interview. Thank you so much for giving us so much for your time. Liam, you can tell us.
Yeah, Joel, were you told about how the boys decided who would go out of the cave first?
I know that the coach decided that he would not take any of the food once it was brought in the cave and that he wanted to be the last out. But are you going to tell me something?
Apparently. So we weren't told this in the interview, but later Harry told us one of the most heartbreaking and also hilarious in a way stories that the coach said, "Right, boys, you're old enough. You sort it out yourself." And basically the way they worked it out is the boys who lived furthest away from the cave went out first because they thought when they got rescued they were going to have to ride their bikes home to their village as if the entire world wasn't watching this with bated breath and hoping they would, make it out alive.
There's something extraordinary about that footage where they first discovered the boys. And I always joke that if that was like 12, 10-year-old versions of me, it wouldn't have been so civil because those boys are like, hello and thank you, and when do you think we might be able to get out? And they're not trying to talk over each other. They're trying to be, and they're thanking John and Rick and... If it were me, it would be like, get me out of here. Diving in the water, grabbing.
Make sure you go and catch 13 Lives on Amazon Prime Video from August 5th. Joel, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, guys.